Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way, if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.
Yo, what's good, y'all? What's the word? What's going on? How everybody doing out there? Y'all already know what it is, man. We are back again, and it's bonus banger time, y'all. That's a lot. It's bonus banger time. It's bonus banger time, and I got one. Y'all know I keep a banger. That's a lot. I keep one. But like I always say before I start these videos off, I have no problem delivering this content to everybody that's out there working hard, working a 9 to 5. Everybody that's out there with their own business, getting to that bag the legit way. I make sure y'all got something to watch in the morning times, and I promise y'all, there's no problem on my end. I also have no problem making sure I'm warning y'all and telling y'all about how dangerous prison is. I only ask for one thing in the process, though, and that's for y'all to just stay out the way, man. That's it, man. Come on, man. Like 2026, it don't matter what the year is, man. Like back in the day when I was getting in trouble, like I didn't know what I was doing, man. Like these days, man, I'm seeing a lot of grown men running around when they already know what the consequences are gonna be, man. Back in the day, people probably knew what the consequences are gonna be, man. But today's time, you should already know what time it is, man, because we can see it on TV all day. We can see it on our phones all day, man. Prison is a crazy place that you don't want to go. And that's why I always tell y'all stay out the way, because it's not worth it, man. It's not worth it. The money you out there hustling for is not worth going to prison for. I'm letting you know now, man. The stuff that you doing out there, you sliding and gliding, you out there, you know what I mean, doing your thing with the hammer, it's not worth it, man. You going down. No crime is going to go unanswered, man, like that. I'm letting you know now. They coming to get you. So your best bet is just turn your life around. Just stay out the way. That's it. That's all you got to do, man. Period. But y'all already know what it is, man. This is a bonus banger. So what I need y'all to do with this one, like, share, subscribe, this one, y'all. Let's get it. Let's go. But it's time for business. Time for business, y'all. And the story I got for y'all today is called Love is Blind. Part 1. Crazy story, crazy situation, but we are aware, people. We are in penitentiary, man. Crazy things happen all the time. And I'm telling y'all, man, like, I've seen it all, man. I have seen dudes fall in love crazy with COs. I have seen dudes fall crazy in love with just random women that they meet. I have seen dudes fall in love, man. Like, when we in prison, we're gonna fall in love, like all the way in love. Like, all it takes is somebody to just care about us, tell us they love us back, and all of that, man. And like, we're going to feel like we're locked in. That's just how it goes, man. So majority of the time, ladies, if you're dealing with a dude in there, they gonna fall in love, man, fast, man, because we're lonely. We don't have nothing else to do. And that's just how it go, man. So with that being said, though, we are on Lawrenceville for this, y'all. We are on Lawrenceville. And I can remember, man, being in 30 building for this one, y'all. This is around the time when I'm just kind of you know, getting acclimated into 30 building, man. Like, I'm still learning it. I'm still learning dudes. I'm still trying to find my way with some bread. I'm still trying to do a lot of things, man. But like, I haven't found my way yet. I ain't even gonna lie. Like, after my bros went to the crib, like, I didn't feel dolo. I just felt like I was left in the home of opportunity. Lawrenceville was the home of opportunity, man, because I just kind of knew how to be a convict. I just knew how to move around, and I felt like any camp I went to, I can adapt. So now that I see I'm in 30 building, like, I'm just trying to learn the ropes. I see people getting money. There's a lot of stuff going on around here, man. Now, it's a lot of phones going on. It's a lot of phones going on as well. Now, me and my roommate had a phone. We lost a phone. So like, now we was on the prowl for another phone. My roommate got shipped to the go home pod. Like, Lawrenceville ended up making like a little go home pod. My roommate, I still had a little bit to do. My roommate was short. You know what I mean? So he got shipped to the little pod. They tried to make like a fake reentry at the moment. And he went to 40 building. So it was like, they had split us up. So now I was in there with a random dude. My celly was cool. He was from Petersburg, cool little young boy. You know what I mean? He stayed out my way. You know what I mean? But like, me and him was all right in there. Like, he was my roommate all the way up until Ballhead came. But this is before Ballhead came. When Ballhead came, I had to tell him, yo, I gotta let my bro get in here. So like, for real, before that, he was cool though. I ain't gonna lie. So like I say, like, I don't have a phone at this particular moment. I don't have a phone at this particular moment, man. But it's a lot of dudes in the pod. They got their own little stuff going on. You got dudes in there that have phones that don't want to get money. You got dudes in there that got phones that that's all they care about is getting money. Then you just got dudes with phones that's just like trying to talk to their peoples. Like it's just a different batch of people in there when it came to them phones. So my pod was one of those pods that was popular with the phones. So it's a lot of dudes in there that's getting to the bag. It's a few dudes in there that I'm dealing with directly that I can holler at and get some money. Now, it was this one particular dude, man. We're going to call him Greg, man. Now, I'm not going to say where Greg was from. He wasn't from the 804 Richmond area, or he wasn't from Tidewater area. He wasn't from those two areas. He was from the outskirts, one of the towns on the outskirts. But he was one of those dudes that knew how to move around. You know what I mean? Like all the way move around, like super kind of trained to go too, because when I was in 60 building, he was over there. Like before I came to 30 building for the first time, he was on the other side with me. And I seen him thrash a dude, man, from where he's from. This dude was from where he's from, and he thrashed him. I'm talking about scraped him on the sidewalk, right by the boulevard, right by 60 building, did him dirty until the police ran, man. I'm talking about, so I seen him black out. So like the beef from another area, he still was one of those dudes that kind of held respect. Like he wasn't pushing it at nobody, like he was trying to be tough or nothing. Greg went on that type of time, but still though, like I seen him fight. So now I see him in 30 minutes. I'm like, yo, dude, think he just because he ain't from Tidewater or Richmond, they gonna try, bro. Bro gonna put that work in. So like me and him really didn't have a friendship or even talk to each other like that. I just knew he was in a pod, and he was a dude that used to get the tobacco. Now, when you the dude that get the tobacco in the pod, like, you know what I mean? Like, you're gonna make money. Like, dudes in there is la everywhere around this time. Everywhere. I'm talking about everywhere, man, especially in my block. It was la everywhere. So like the Hank, the tobacco, whatever you want to call it, it was needed. So when somebody got it, they make a decent amount of money. So I used to see the dude Greg, he used to always have it. But he would never come out to sell that much. When I used to have to go score for him to go buy a cup for 25 or a 50 sack maybe for 50, like I would go to his sale, he would let me in. He'll always be in the sale using the jack. So that's what he'd be doing. So I can remember they went on lockdown, man. This was like one of the big, you know, when they do the lockdowns, they do the big lockdowns. You know what I mean? Like every 90 days, every quarter or something like that, they'll do a big lockdown. So this was one of the big lockdowns. Everybody got prepared for it because everybody already knew what it was. Now, the only thing that I had in there that they can take was probably a stinger and my mattress. Now, my mattress, I always slept on 2 mattresses, y'all. Like it was a must. Like one mattress is not enough for me. Like I'm pretty sure dudes can relate. Like they've been locked up. I'm telling you, man, that one mat is not enough. You used to lay on that little flat mattress, man. That joint had you, man, like after a night's sleep, rolling over and trying to, man, your back will be feeling crazy, man. So I got tired of that, man. So I found a way to be able to beat them, even when I was on Sussex. So I carried it to Lawrenceville. And the only people that used to bite my style and try to copy this was my roommates, probably after they leave my cell, because they was the only ones that knew how I used to do this every time. But when they did the lockdown, I won't never trip, and I got 2 mattresses. Of course, when they do it, they're gonna come take it. So they finally hit our pod. They come in there, they do the shakedown. They got stuff everywhere. Dudes out there handcuffed out in their boxes. Everybody, that's how they do it. They come to your cell. They pull you and your roommate out, handcuff you, make you sit down in the 2 chairs right in front of your cell. You watch them shake your cell down, and you sit out there. Dudes be out there talking. You know what I mean? There's be a lot of noise going on at the moment, but they taking things. Everything that don't supposed to be took, everything that you don't supposed to have, they take it. They got the COs working there. They got COs that's not from there working there, and they got rookies that's in there. So it's a lot of officers in the pod. Like the block just look like it's in mayhem every time it's an institutional shakedown. So I won't even tripping. I knew they was gonna take my mat. They finally come to my cell. He see my mat. He like, yeah, let me get that. Let me get that. White dude took the mat. Took the jump straight from me. I won't even tripping. I'm looking like, man, like I was like, yo, leave me the good one, man. He was like, all right. So he leave me the good mat. So my roommate like, man, they took your mattress, man. I'm like, shh. Like, you know, I ain't want to tell him. I couldn't tell him at the time while we sitting down with the playwood. So they finished shaking us down. So they go to everybody else cell. So I see them take, they got mattresses stacked up like this high. Like I wasn't the only dude. I just knew how to get it back that same particular day I'm about to tell y'all. But dudes had 2 mattresses just like me on Lawrenceville and in my pod. Like it's just, I don't think they knew the tactic of how to get another one immediately. You know what I mean? Because you can get one easily. There's always a sale open. Dudes just go grab that joint. So a dude come out the hole, he be like, I ain't get no mattress. They'll go get him a mattress. It'd be the same. That's just how I go. So I'm just waiting for them to finish the shakedown. So I'm at the door the whole time. My roommate can't figure it out. He back there fixing all his stuff back up. I'm still at the door like this. All my stuff still messed up. I'm just at the door watching because I see they almost finished. So right when I was seeing they was almost finished, like they was almost like about to go to the honor part. Like I think they did our part first. Then they was about to go to the honor part. So they went to the honor part. As soon as I seen them go to the honor part, I was like, yo, CO. I seen a little CO that don't work and don't be in our building. I was like, yo, CO. Hey, CO. He looked back. I was like, yo, come here. He was like, what? I said, man, I need to see you. It's an emergency. He came to the door. He was like, what? I said, look, man. I said, they took my mattress, man, because it was all, because I took the because they'll take your mattress too if you take the plastic off it and just had a cushion. A lot of dudes will sleep with just the cushion. You know what I mean? But I used to sleep with the cushion, but I would have it on 2 mattresses. I'm never doing 1 mattress, so they would take it in. So I said, look, they took my mattress, man. You know what I mean? They took my mattress. I need another mattress. He looked in the cell. He was like, as soon as he looked in the cell, you know what I mean? He saw there was no mattress on the bottom bunk. Now, what I did was this. I took my mattress that was on the bed. They left me one mattress. I took that mattress. I folded it up as good as I could. I forced it over in the corner by the toilet. By the toilet in like a little table that go over there. I forced it over there. I threw blankets over it. I threw everything over there just on it. So it didn't look like I didn't have a mattress. So he was like, man, open up, cell such and such. Don't open up. He came in the joint. He was like, you ain't got, what they do with your, I said, they took it. He was like, all right, go get a mattress real quick. I was like, I did the run like this to get that junk. Y'all ain't gonna lie. I was like, grab a mattress. Grab the junk. He was like, all right, close the door. He locked me in. I was like, I come back in the cell. My roommate was like, bro, your mattress right there. I was like, bro, listen, bro, this is the trick. This is how you beat them, bro. I can't give you the game. The game is to be sold, not be told, my guy. So boom. Bro was in a maze. He like, man, Weezy's a thinker. I was, man, but that's how you beat them and get back on dubs the same day on lockdown, man. That's how I did it. So now I'm back on dubs. I'm feeling good, so I'm in the bed. You know what I mean? I'm chilling. I'm in the joint chilling, yo. I'm like, joint crazy. So I'm like, man, I told my roommate, I'm like, yo, because he gave me a decent joint. You know what I mean? So I didn't want to have two decent joints. They gonna take because it's gonna look too big. Even when you wrap your sheet around it, it's gonna be tall. It's gonna be like a tall joint. So I'm like, man, I took the cushion out the joint and I seen it was still big. I'm like, I looked at my celly mattress. I said, bro, switch mats with me, bro. I said, man, cause look, your joint ain't all that. I said, man, let me give you a decent joint, like a brand new joint. He was like, all right, bet. So he switched with me immediately because he didn't have dubs. He put it on the bed so he get to start making it up. So when he started making it up, he was like, hey, bro. I was like, yo, he was on the top bunk, almost tying the bottom part of the joint. He was like, yo. I seen him pressing down the mattress. I'm like, what's up? He like, look. I'm like, what's up? I get up. He like, feel right there, bro. I'm like, what's that? He was like, feel. I was like, touch it. I was like, how did I miss that? I was like, what's this? He was like, hold on. Bro stuck his hand in that joint. He was like, he pulled the joint out. I looked. Man, that joint was a flip phone game, y'all. So boom. I was like, oh my God. I was like, yo, word. I was like, yo, let me see that joint. I was like, yo, open that joint up. Hit power. That joint cut on. I want no password or nothing. I'm like, joint come straight on. As soon as it come on, see this badass light-skinned girl on the front. I'm like, damn. He had it, he had it for his screensaver. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, shit. I'm like, yo, who jack is this? I was like, yo, somebody. My roommate was like, they probably took somebody's mattress. They probably hit the joint in the mattress. I'm like, oh, this joint crazy. So I ain't even gonna lie. I start going through the joint. I see decent ass light skin, some pictures of a decent ass light skin joint. I'm like, damn, shit crazy. So I'm just looking. So my roommate like, yeah, we got a phone. Yeah, we got a phone now, shorty. Yeah. I'm like, this is, I said, bro, this is somebody jack though. He was like, I don't care. We just gonna keep it on the low. So I'm like, man, that's crazy. And I was like, nah. I was like, bro, it depends who it is though. I said, because they gonna be wanting their jack, bro. You know what I mean? I said, more than likely, they probably was watching the mattress to see where that mattress went at the whole time. So I was like, just chill for now, bro. I was like, because I'm telling you, if that was my jack, I would want my jack. So he was like, yeah, I feel you, but if they don't say nothing, then we gonna keep it. So I go through the joint some more. So I read a text that says, you know what I mean? They talking to Greg. Greg, I need you to send the money. Don't forget to send the money because the water bill due and the light bill due on the same day. So don't forget to send the money. So I'm like, Greg. So that's how I was like, yo. I said, yo, this the nigga Greg joint, bro. He was like, what? I said, boy, the dude, man, we get the tobacco. He was like, oh, man, because he had jive rock with Greg. He used to go outside and rock with Greg. They used to work out sometimes. So, you know what I mean? He used to rock with him a little bit. But still, though, for him to find out that that's Greg joint, I felt my roommate was a little disappointed. So I'm just like, I had a lot to think about. You know, I had a whole lot to think about. Because I'm like, man, should I buckle him, man? I should have bucked. I was like, I'm going to see how he going to carry when these doors pop. You know what I mean? So they kept us in there the whole time. That first night, you know what I mean? Nobody came to the joint. You know what I mean? So my roommate was like, yo, I'm going to use that joint. So I get it. I like, use it. You know what I mean? So I gave it to him, bro, start using it. After he finished, he gave it to me. I started using it. We was using the jack. That's word. So look, a call come through. So the junk ringing. My roommate like, yo, it's ringing. I'm like, I look, it's the number of the lady. I'm like, I see the face again. I'm like, I ain't answering that junk. My roommate was like, answer that. I was like, nah, that's probably bro girl. I was like, that's probably bro girl, man. She probably thinking he got the jack. So man, he was like, man, look, my roommate was like, we can't do nothing until we come off lock. I said, damn right, we can't do nothing, bro. So like, you know what I mean? I ain't answering the joint. So we ain't answer. She kept calling. I turned the volume down on the joint for me. She called like 10 times in a row. So I'm like, yo, she wildin'. So we don't answer the joint. But we still doing us with the phone. So we had it for like a day and a half. Like when they finally did that, they came and did they told us we was going on modified lock, which means that the shakedown is over with, but they're letting us out to have just in-part rec, no outside rec, not going to the child hall or nothing. That's why it's called modified lockdown. So they let us off of that. So everybody come out when the doors pop. So I come out and I'm just on the top tail like this. I'm just trying to I ain't really trying to look at bro, but I'm looking at bro. I'm like, he come out, he looking stupid. He just looking like his junk gone. But he got the look like, you know what I mean? At least he ain't get caught with the joint, you know what I mean? He had that type of look. So I'm like, man, that junk crazy, man. So I'm like, yo, that junk wild, man. So as I seen him, he had just looked pitiful. And I probably could have bucked on the jack. Don't get me wrong, y'all, but like y'all always thinking that, you know what I mean? Like Trey be moving like a scumbag at all times. No, I got morals in there. Like if I rock with you, I ain't gonna do nothing dirty. And me and dude didn't rock, but me and dude did business. And I just felt like I can get my own phone, man. I felt like that was a situation where I could have bucked. But I'm like, man, I ain't gonna buck. I don't know why, y'all. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. I don't know why I ain't buck. I could have bucked. I know all y'all gonna say in the comments, Weezy, you should have bucked. But I don't know why I didn't buck. When I came out and watched his movements, he didn't even look our way. He wasn't even looking to see or nothing. You know what I mean? So I know my roommate saw it. So I went back in the room and told my roommate, I said, look, man, I'm gonna give him his jack, man. He was like, what, bro? I said, cuz, man. I said, man, yeah, bro, it's jack, man. I said, man, look how lucky he got. I said, dude told me to go get his mattress. And it had the jack in it, bro. He probably thought the jack was gone. You know what I mean? So my roommate was like, man, he gotta look out for this. I said, yeah, I'm gonna holler at him and tell him you found it. I said, man, I'm gonna holler at him though, man. I said, we're gonna get a phone, bro. I said, I'm definitely gonna get a jack. So I ain't, you know what I mean? So he was like, yeah, you good. I was like, all right. So I shoot down the steps. Get down the steps. Bro, back in his cell. I go to his cell. He answered, he said, like, this how his voice sounded. He was like, yo. I was like, yo. He was like, yo. I was like, yo, Greg. He was like, who that? I was like, this Weezy, man. He was like, oh, shit. Come in, bro. Come on in. So I opened the door. His celly was right there. I said, yo, hey, can I holler at him right quick? He was like, yeah. So his celly dip out. I was like, bro, you ain't gonna believe this, bro. He was like, what? I said, bro, look, say word, bro. I beat him on a mattress when we was locked down. I see his eyes get blowing up. He was like, I was like, yeah, bro, look. I grabbed your mattress, bro. I had to. He was like, ah. I said, bro, because this your jack right here, right? He was like, let me see it. He got up. He was like, bro. He got up. He was like, bro. The man gave me a hug, not a dap. He was just like, bro, man, how you get it, bro? I was like, man, it was in the mattress, bro. I was like, for real? I said, my celly found it, though, because I gave my celly the mattress. I said, man, we could have bucked, man. I said, but I told him I'd rock with you, man. You know what I mean? I was like, man, so look, man, do something for my celly, man, when you get the tobacco. I said, bro, because he found the joint. You know what I mean? He was like, bro, I'm going to do something for both of y'all, man. Like, man, that's crazy, man. He was like, he grabbed the joint. He was like, man, look how many times my baby called, man. Man, that's crazy. I was like, bro, I ain't gonna lie, we used the joint, though. I was like, we used the joint. I ain't gonna lie, like, we used it. He was like, man, I don't care, bro. Look, I thought my jack was gone. He was like, look, man, Weezy, look. Man, you locked in with me, bro. Like, you ain't gotta, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta use the joint, just let me know, bro. Like, I ain't tripping on shit, bro. You just saved my ass, bro. You know, my girl won't curse me out, bro. You know what I mean? Da-da-da-da. I said, bro, she bad as hell. I said, where the hell you find her at? She ain't got no sisters, no cousins, no friends, nobody, goddamn it. He was like, man, bro, like, for real, bro. Like, I don't even be trying to hook nobody up, bro. He was like, I scored, bro. I was like, bro, why she came through this VI? I said, I ain't never seen you in a VI with her, bro. He was like, she ain't come to the VI, bro. She don't like coming to visit nobody in prison. So we just got a phone relationship, you know what I mean? I'm like, damn, bro. I said, I ain't gonna lie. I said, goddamn, I heard on that text, goddamn, you got them bills to pay. He said, oh yeah, I be taking care of her whole household and her kids. Yeah, I be looking up for her and shit, goddamn. I was like, damn, bro. I said, bro, you scrub, bro. I said, bro, she bad as hell, bro. He was like, damn, bro, I thought it was over. He got up, got me up. He was like, man, Weezy, man, if you need anything, man, holler at me, bro. I said, that's a lot. So boom. 2 days go by. I didn't want to go the next day game, but 2 days go by. And the reason why 2 days went by, I had to let it be like a couple days is because the whole time I had $200 Green Dot cards. Both of them had $100 on it. So I been had that. You know what I mean? That was in the cut. So I said, you know what? That was in the cut. So I said, you know what? I said, I'm going to holler at bro and see what's good. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to pull up on him and see what I can do, because he told me if I need anything, like, real talk, the way he acting like he too much in love. I told my son, I was like, bro, he acting like he too much in love. They kind of be like worried about the pack. I said, but he got to take care of that lady. I said, so he definitely worried about it, but I'm like, I'm about to see if I can buy in with this. He was like, yeah. I was like, bro, he said he gonna look out for you. So like, I'm gonna make sure he look out for you. He was like, all right. So I pushed back to his cell. He like, yo. I'm like, yo. He like, oh shit, come in, Weezy. I come in. He was like, what's up? He was on the phone. He was like, yo, hey, babe, let me holler at you. Let me hit you. He like, yo, babe, let me hit you right back. She was like, all right, so he hanging John up. He was like, what's up? I said, yo, I sit down. I'm like, yo, bro, look, man. I said, look. He was like, what's this? He opened it up. He was like, it's $200. I'm like, yeah, bro, that's 2 cents. I was like, man, what's up, man? I was like, bro, you said if I needed anything, bro. I was like, you know what type of dude I am, bro. I ain't really trying to do no handouts and nothing like that, bro. I was like, bro, I'm trying to buy in with this tobacco game, though. I said, what, you got a roller? He was like, no, I ain't got no roller. He was like, but there's somebody I know that be messing with the roller, and I just go through him. I was like, damn, so like what you be getting? He was like, man, I just get like a bag, half a bag sometime, like something like that. I was like, bro, listen, let me buy in with you, bro. I said, look, you can do that for me. I said, let me buy in with you, bro. You know what I mean? He was like, man, that's crazy. He was like, see, bro, I be taking care of my girl, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she be needing me to take care of the bills, and I gotta do this and do that. I gotta make sure that I can, you know what I mean? Weezy, like, you might leave me out back. I was like, nah, I ain't gonna leave you out back. I was like, but still though, bro, send him the 200. I said, bro, this is a free 200 for you to break bread with me. He was like, how much I gotta break bread? I said, bro, give me half. He was like, half. I said, bro, listen, I'm giving you $200, bro, to get half of the pack, bro. Like, it ain't nothing but tobacco, my guy. I'm like, what's the problem? Like, he was like, I said, bro, I know how much the bags of tobacco cost on the street, bro. They cost $15, bro, in the smoke shops, bro. That's how much they cost, bro. Come on, bro. Like, this, you're not losing. I said, bro, send her the 200. You still get the bag of the bank. We split the check. You still make more money. I said, she might need the 2 cents now. She don't need the 2 cents now. He was like, deal, Weezy, man. You know how to wheel me in, don't you? I was like, nah, bro. Just, just trying to see if you gonna play fair like I did, bro. I said, I gave your jack back. You know what I mean? I said, I could have. He was like, you right. So he was like, that y'all crazy, man. I was like, what you on the phone with your girl? I was like, damn. I said, you stay on the phone with her. He was like, yeah, man. He whipped the phone back out. He was like, look, I don't be showing nobody these jumps. He was like, look. Found the picture. He was like, look at that jump. She fat, ain't she, Weezy? I was like, damn. I'm looking at her. I'm like, yo, like, she got the braids, looking all good. I'm like, yo, this shit crazy. I'm like, damn, bro. I'm like, bro, you need to get her ass in the business room, bro. I said, ain't no way in the world I'm gonna be goddamn talking to a junk on the phone that long and she ain't came and see me yet, bro. Not looking like that. He was like, man, shit, bro. Like, she play with the pussy. She goddamn hold me down. Goddamn, I hold her down. Like, shit, like, I don't give a fuck, bro. Like, shit, like, I got a bad jump. If I gotta wait to go home to see that jump, then it is what it is, bro. I'm just gonna play my position. So I'm like, yeah, you right, bro. I was like, damn, bro, that jump bad. You know what I mean? He was like, yeah, no, bro. He was like, man, look, when the tobacco come through, you know what I mean? Goddamn, gonna make the jump happen though. I'm like, all right, that's a bet. So I give bro the 200, move on. I go back downstairs, you know what I mean? So I go back downstairs. So I was just waiting for the tobacco to hit. So probably like 2 days go by. Then they end up bringing a couple of dudes in the pod. So this one particular dude that they brought in the pod, man, he was a short, older looking dude. He was a little shorter than me, but he was an older looking dude. I'd never seen him. I don't think he was from 804 or 757. But I never really saw him before. So I see they bring him in. He slept downstairs somewhere. So when he come in, I don't know if he was cool with somebody that knew Greg. Because like Greg talked to different people in there. I wasn't the only people that he would kick it with in the pod. But like it was crazy because when I'm standing by the microwave, dude sleeping like the second cell. He's talking to a dude beside his cell. Greg is coming down the steps. So as Greg coming down the steps, the dude that the new dude is talking to, he like, hey, and there go Greg right there. He was like, hey, man, hey, Greg, you from the same place your shorty from, man. You from the same place your shorty from, man. He was like, man, like, see what's up with her, bro. Like, you know what I mean? So I guess the dude that's saying this, he probably like feeling the same way. Like, damn, bro, you messing with a jank you ain't never seen. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if a dude rock with you, like, that's a valid question. You know what I mean? Like, damn, like, she ain't came to VI, y'all rocking like that. So you like, yo, hey, look. Yeah, hey, look. That's so he like, you mess with dude face like this, dude, like, I ain't gonna say her name. He was like, hey, you mess with, we gonna call her Tish. She was like, hey, you mess with Tish. This word Greg came out and stuff. Greg was like, who you, man? He was like, you mess with Tish, man. You mess with Tish. He was like, yeah, that's my baby. Well, what's up, dude? Was like, you mess with Tish, man. Oh, man, you mess with freaky Tish, man. Come on, man. Tish freaky. You wiped up that joke, bro. So he say that joke Greg took off on him. Bah!
Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.